Hello, the game has started. It's my opponent to go first. I've got a great rack. I've got the blank, and the rest of the tiles aren't too bad. V and U together, usually pretty bad, but I think I've got, wow, I think I've got unlived. Not 100% sure of that. Hopefully there will be some options if opponent plays, and opponent hasn't played. They've passed. Passed. Wow, that's pretty unusual. Let's see if unlived stays on. And it does. Fantastic. But surely opponent, having passed, is about to bingo. But what a pick. I've got regrets on my rack. That plays in row I. Do I have anything through the eye of unlived? Perhaps a double-double. Wow. Not sure. I do have greeters through the E. And regreets. But what about this I? No, not seeing anything. Wow, what a start. And opponent does bingo. Interesting option to pass. If I didn't have a bingo, I would have been minded to, well, I would have had an option of changing tiles. Now, opponent, well, has left alone both of my spots. The eye's gone, so I don't have to look for a double-double. I've got greeters, which is quite nice. It provides no bingo-y floaters, and it's definitely better than the row I bingo. Not seeing anything with the C. Anything through the A wouldn't be better than greeters. Now, regreets would score more, but it would stick E, T, and S as floaters. So I'm going to take the slightly lower scoring greeters. Am I? Look at this X spot. Wow. And opponents provided a Z spot. Let me see what regreet scores. 74 points. I'm minded to go for the greater score. I think there's very little between these plays. I'm going back to my first choice. I think I'm overreacting to the danger of the X. So greeters for 72. And I draw the X. Fantastic. However, only one vowel, so I can't get it to play twice. That's a shame. And opponent starts with 2 bingos as well. Look at this board. 4 bingos on it. No non-bingos. So, well, I'm breaking the pattern. I am going to non-bingo now. Gosh, 2 opening bingos and I only lead by 12 points. And no obvious candidate play here. I've got notch on my rack. Now, what about placing my H next to the S? Wow, if I had a 5-letter play, it would score about 50 points. But I don't. Do I have a play through these 2 E's? Nope. Wow. So, I've got touch for 22 points. That takes an E and a Y at the end. Only 22 points, though. What does hot score? 27 with a worse rack leave. What about a play getting the H tripled here? Nope, not seeing anything. UH is good, but nothing. Only an E goes after an R. I haven't got one. Hod is good, but that would leave a lot of consonants. There's literally nowhere on this board for notch. Wow, incredible with so many. Well, you would think that with 4 bingos the board would be wide open, and it is, but I'm just not seeing any good candidate plays. I'm not seeing any CHU plays. Chunt isn't good, otherwise I would be attracted to that. What about a play down from this E? That would certainly score more than anything I previously considered. Nothing beginning EX. Wow, through an E I would have context. That's not going to score very much. What about doing this? Cutto. Retaining the H for SH, retaining the X for EX. Yeah, I think this is a deliberate score sacrifice in order to hit one of these 2 hotspots. I am going with this. Great. I draw an E for EX in column 14. Now, and I have hexes in column 14, so that ploy has worked. I don't know if it was worth the score sacrifice, but what was I sacrificing? I hadn't spotted anything amazing. I do have a slender lead, and Cutto is taking out the U and the R as bingo floaters, and the R is a double-double lane. Gosh, I hope I didn't have a double-double last turn. I don't think so. I think I just had the solitary vowel. So, do I play hexes or do I... And another bingo for opponent. That's 3 on the trot. Good grief. Fortunately, I'm still in the game. So these are my options. Hexes for 59, keeping KN. That's quite nice. K can go underneath the O of vigorous. And indeed, a KN play could play in that spot. X, well, only an I and a U can go to the right of the X, so no big tile can go on that. That's 59. This is the alternative, 52. Keeping the S, keeping a vowel, keeping an N for een. Yeah, I think this is a better play. I've still got the KN for row N. And I think more particularly, I still got the H for SH. So this is better. What about a play in column 2, getting the X tripled? Not seeing one. Okay, I am going with this. And a pretty good pick. The problem with keeping H and K is that I was very unlikely to bingo. And I'm not seeing a bingo with this rack. His opponent about to drop a 4th back-to-back bingo. Opponent has not played a non-bingo since the start of this game. So what do I have? Well, I have Hanks in column 14. Do I have anything beginning with H, which doesn't use the S? Hanky. Sticking an E in the middle of row O. But it does retain the S. Great. Opponents finally slows down, and they only lead by 14. Fantastic. Now, what about a column 15 play ending in N? Okay. Gosh. X only takes an O. Well, I have sneak. Let me see what this scores. 37, keeping HI. H can go underneath the O of vigorous. Interesting. I've got niche here. 50 points. I don't think this is massively dangerous. Not many tiles go under the S. The only vowel is R, I and O. That's niche for 50. That's 53. And 3 successive consonants makes it very hard to play in column 15. And the final tiles of vigorous obstruct free use of the S of Hanks for a bingo. I'm keeping 2 vowels, which isn't great. I could change this to Hakes. Yeah, I think Hakes would be better. And what about Hakes spelt like this? 53, keeping E-N. I think that's good. But how many O's? Lots of O's. So opponent, oh, that's now providing an opportunity for an FO or FI play like fits. 5 I's, only 4 E's to come. The alternative would be Hakes here. Well, again, the intersection of vowels and consonants mean this is a good scoring lane. Cane is good, K-A-N-E-H. I've got hankies. Having considered hanky earlier, I've got hankies. Oh, and it plays. Good grief, it plays. Well, I'm sure there are a few of you shouting at the screens there. But I do have it here for 87 points. Wow, that's a large number of points. Does this bingo play anywhere else? I don't think it does. Am I sure of that? Yeah, wow, that, having seen Hanky, I really should have seen Hankies a little bit earlier, but I've seen it now. So I'm going with it, Hankies for 87. And I draw an F and a J, which are good scoring tiles, with vowels and no duplicates. I've got an N for Een. I've got Rejon in Phew, only 8 points for opponent. I now lead by a bingo, and opponent started with 3 back-to-back bingos. Fantastic. The beautiful game. Through an I would have Fijoa. Interesting, opponent plays OU for only 8, probably keeping a decent rack. But this SH spot surely is super hot. SH with my tiles takes A and E. So I could play Freener here. For 54 points, keeping J-O, which go together well. Wow, possible J spot in column 2 for Jared for a big score. This Z spot remains available. Is Freener best? 8 minutes on my clock, 34 tiles to come, so... Wow, opponent's playing super quickly. Do I have any J plays in this spot? Any 5-letter play beginning with J? No, not that I can see. I am going with Freener for 54. Wow, lots of O's. So I lead by over 100. And opponent's bingoed. My lead shrinks to 47 points. Great bingo find by opponent. Jolly difficult to see. The Z spot remains available for Zell and Zol. What am I going to do here? I've got Joy. Well, do I have anything in column 2? No. I have joy in this spot. 38 points, wow. In the context of this game, this seems quite small, but in the context of Scrabble generally, a 38-point move is pretty handy. Not a great rack leave, unless I draw a Z. But I'm not setting up anything for opponent, which is good, and I'm interrupting row F as a bingo lane quite significantly. But is there a big... The eel is good. Let me just pause, because XO is good. So LO. I'm not seeing any J plays which use 2 O's. Oh, not a particularly useful floater for me for column 8. I don't think I can take this E spot out. I could hold on to the J and play the Y, but I don't have a Y play in column 10. ISO is good. Yeah, I'm going with joy for 38. And I still don't draw the Z. And my lead, 85 points. Wow, nice score for opponent. Is this a race to the Z? Well, can I do anything about it this turn with my W? W. Gosh, if I'd kept my J, I could have played Wilger this turn. But all of my vowels go next to the N. And I've got a D and an L, both of which go next to the A. I'm seeing absolutely no play which works in this spot. No 3-letter play, no 5-letter play, and no longer play. How galling. EEW is good. EE takes a lot of tiles. It doesn't take an S, but it seems to take an awful lot of tiles. But it doesn't take a D. And I can't see any 5-letter plays ending L or W. Is that really the case? Still a bingo lane available in row G. So what about playing Woo? It's 22 points. It takes out a scoring spot in column 15. Is this the right thing to do? I think so. Surely this is a balanced rack. My I can go next to the Q, and it's just generally balanced and flexible. If I draw the Z and I don't draw an O or an E, well, my opportunity to play a 3-letter play in column 10 has gone. But only 22 points for Woo, and I've got a good scoring tile in the W. Can I really not improve on that? What about a play in column 2? Not seeing anything. Oh, only 3 minutes on my clock. IO only takes an N and an S. So I lead by 50. What about a play in row F, which just ends in the E? That will take out the row G bingo lane and the Z danger. So what about doing this? Just killing both of those dangers, restricting column 8. This is surely the play, and retaining an O for XO. Yeah, I'm going with this. And I draw the Z, of course. But that's okay. LOU is good. So my lead is healthy. It's about a bingo. But there are, I think, very few bingo lanes on the board. There's row G. Oh, ending E or O. And, well, there are assorted others with the right combinations. Column 15, for example, hooking E and X, or row K, underlapping ureteral. Now, finally, I have no consonants which go next to double E, so I can't take out column 15. But my priority is probably scoring with the Z. I don't have any A, Z, I plays in row M. I do have does for over 30 in column 6. Great, opponent hasn't opened the board up. 2 minutes on my clock. Do I play ZO here? What about setting up the Z somewhere? Well, that's a bit fancy. Opponent could bingo. My lead may not be strong enough to survive a bingo. 2 minutes on my clock. Only one A to come. I'm tempted to do this. It's 24 points, but it's taking out this bingo lane, which is pretty much the only one that exists. Wow, really tempting to play. What about playing here? And what about playing ZOS? 44 points. A D can go next to ZOS, but an A can't. And a D is in quite a specific position, and it's not at the end of the word. 44 points is a lot. This would take me to 450. Yeah, I'd be 80 points up. I'm going with this. And Zoes also was taking out row G. Now, I draw the D. Oh, there's still one D to come. No, I don't draw the D. I retain the D. So opponent, great. Only 44 points for opponent. 3 tiles in the bag. I lead by 40. So I need to leave 1 minute on my clock. What are my goals here? I need to play off 2 tiles to leave 1 in the bag. How can I do that? What about this? It's 25 points. I'm keeping a balanced scoring rack. I'm going with this because I'm very short on time. I draw another scoring tile. 1 in the bag. I've got a W for column 15, but I don't think B poor is good. I'm not saying if opponent goes there in any event. Opponent's got Bon. I lead by 30. 40 seconds on my clock. I want to offload some of these scoring tiles. So I can do that here for 22. 30 seconds on my clock. Anywhere else to get rid of 2 scoring tiles? No, don't think so. So I lead by 50, but opponent's going to get 12 on countback. If they can go out and score 38, they may catch me. But surely there's that. Surely there isn't that number of points available. What if opponent doesn't go out? And opponent does. Okay. And the final score, 483 for opponent, 501 to me, a winning margin of 18 points. So a huge, huge win. Let's see what I missed. Oh, wow. What a game. That was special. A losing score of 483 points. Now, it was opponents go first and they pass. Why? Well, they didn't have a bingo. It's not that great a rack. Oh, well. I do have a bingo, unlived, but also other options. And now opponent does have a bingo. And I come back with regreets or greeters for 72. Great spot by opponent from an unpromising rack. And now the start of 4 bingos ends, and this was a tricky one. CH, E10. Oh, because of CH twice. That's quite nice, keeping a vowel, keeping the X. 35 points. So I take a score sacrifice to keep open 2 hotspots. Great bingo by opponents. And now I have... Gosh, I play EX. I could have played XED using the same tiles and providing less of a column 15 danger. But I'm not sure there's a huge amount between those. Opponent's bingo run ends. They play Via. And now I have hankies, which took me an eternity to find. But it was there, and it was the only bingo. Opponent plays OU. Now, Rejohn, O5. Rejohn, Show, and Anne for 56 points. What do? I do Freena for 54, keeping the J. Am I going to score more with the F or the J? It depends on the board, but not a huge amount between those plays. Now, look at this fantastic bingo spot by opponent in Tronic for 72, and my lead just half a bingo. But I've got the J, and I can get 38 for joy. Opponent with the Q offloads it rapidly, which is the right thing to do. Oh, there was a play in column 10 taking out this Z danger. Walla. I didn't see that. F1, oh whoa. But I play low for 15 because I was concerned about the Z danger and also concerned about row G as a bingo lane, so low dealt with both of those threats. Now opponent not close to a bingo. Plays gift. Actually had Metif with the M on this triple letter square, which would have opened up a bingo lane, but one which I would have pounced on, I think. Now, F1 Azo. I didn't want to set up a triple lane. So I play Zos for 44, retaining the D. But opponent's got the D, plays Demi. 3 tiles in the bag, and I lead by 40. So I play off 2 tiles with Ide. No bingo for opponent, they play Impal. And, wow, Bear Paw A7. Nice. Wow. Putting an A in front of low. But I'm super short on time. I just wanted to offload as many of my scoring tiles as possible, so I went with Wab for 22. Certainly some of these other options would have been better. And finally, opponent has Knob for 24. And there we go. What a game. That was special. Amazing start with 4 back-to-back bingos and an amazing final score. Both of us super close to 500 and just 18 points separating us. So what a privilege to take part in a game like this. Many thanks to opponent for a great battle. I hope you enjoyed watching that game. Like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you next time.